The Dark Ones came much later, from the garden's direction. The Dark Ones, huge, towering a full head over the highest man. Nightmarish creatures, creepy as a man turned inside out. Monsters born to destroy us. The word was they were incredibly strong and unnaturally evil, that with bare paws they could tear armed men apart. That's all lies. Truth is even scarier.
Well, I used to live nearby. Before the war, up there. I was on the train when it happened. I tried calling my family, but couldn't get through. What the? What happened? Shit! Shit! What's going on here?
Wake up, Artyom. It's me, Khan. Nightmares, eh? No wonder, after all you've been through. Listen, I have incredible news. A couple of days ago, I was near the ruins of the Dark One's hive, and I saw one of them, still alive. I immediately set out to find you, as you were the one they tried to contact, before you launched the missile strike against them.
Khan, how the hell did you get here? Get out, now!
Yes, Ullman, one moment. If a Dark One has survived, it is vital that you try to speak with it, Artyom. I realize that, as one of the Order now, you report to Miller. But we must persuade him to allow this mission.
Khan, I told you to get out! This is a classified base. You shouldn't even be here. I'll take you to Colonel Miller. Follow me, Artyom.
Get ready, Artyom. I'll be waiting at the exit.
Move it, you windbag.
I knew a smoker once. During the last year of his life, he had to eat, drink, and breathe through a tiny hole in his throat.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to my Survival Ranger Hardcore playthrough of Metro Last Light Redux. I'm going to start by saying that while I'm aiming for the good ending, it's not required. I'm not going to be doing all the finicky criteria that are needed to gain points in order to make sure I get the good ending. That includes stuff like sneaking through an enemy area without killing anybody, or, playing every instrument you come across, or standing in place for 30 seconds to a minute and just, listening to a conversation happening. It's not fun for me to sit there doing nothing, and I'm sure it's not fun for you to just sit there watching me do nothing either. Now, with that said, when it comes to just playing the game normally, I'm just here to have fun. So I'm going to be killing people. I'm going to be doing it a fun way. I don't care about knocking them out entirely. So, just a heads up for that if you're hoping for, an all good, gets every single point to guarantee the good ending. It's not going to happen, chances are. This is kind of like Dishonored, where it turns out that the most fun way to play is also the most discouraged. If you never played Dishonored, or you have, essentially they want you to spend most of the time going through the game without ever having killed anyone. So all your really cool powers that you can get are essentially discouraged from ever being used because you don't want to murder anyone. Kind of the same thing here, where you can get a lot of cool guns and stealth kill people and sneak up behind them and murder them. And I'm going to be doing that because it's going to be a lot of fun. So, this is pretty much just the tutorial area, and because this game is a lot more linear, it's not going to be as short as my other playthroughs, like Salt and Sanctuary and Dark Souls and so on and so forth. So I'm actually going to be breaking it up a lot more just into levels. You can't really do that with Dark Souls, and I didn't mind just, doing the whole playthrough then and there. But here I'm actually going to break the videos up into levels. So this first one is pretty much just the introduction as well as the first, level where you can actually play stuff. So here we're just grabbing our first weapon. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what I'm grabbing. I start off trying to be like, I want this, AK or whatever they call them. Spoiler alert, I'm not a gun guy. I don't know the names of guns. I don't know the differences between guns. I can pretty much figure out what, an M4A1 is and an AK-47 is from Counter-Strike. And not like CSGO, I mean like original Counter-Strike, not even 1.6. So yeah, I pretty much just settled on just a regular, AK-47 and whatever this other long-range gun is. If I remember correctly, I end up losing them all early anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is pretty much just required for the initial, essentially, tutorial area, where you kill like 9 enemies total or something. But yeah, this is essentially, just your initial walkthrough area. You end up following NPCs while they talk and everything. I don't consider it super important. If you really love listening to the conversations, then by all means, you're more than welcome to do that. I did leave subtitles on, because why wouldn't I? But I am going to be talking over a lot of it. That being said, when it comes to actual cutscenes themselves, I will just let them play as they are.
Alright, let's go.
So pretty much we enter out here and we're in D6, which if you haven't played oh my gosh, speaking is hard. If you haven't played the original Metro, this is where you end the game. You pretty much end up at this great vault where they have all the missiles and nukes and crap. And the canon for this game is that you got the bad ending in the original Metro, which most people, if you play, get the bad ending because just getting the good ending in Metro is next to impossible and really annoying to do. So essentially you end up nuking the Dark Ones. The Dark Ones are those enemies you saw at the beginning in the opening cutscene. So here, pretty much, Khan has just shown up and been like, hey dude, I totally found another Dark One. We should go, rescue him because that's what we need to do. Because killing them and committing genocide against them is bad. So, right now the Rangers or whatever have pretty much taken over this whole area and we're one of them. And so our mission, should we choose to accept it, is going to be to go and murder the Dark One. But here we're just, wandering around, exploring. And when I say wandering around, I mean riding an elevator. I will say that when it comes to the Metro games, I really like the gameplay of it. I will say that many times during this playthrough, especially in the start, it's going to be really awkward, mostly because I can't remember what the control scheme is, and by doing Ranger Hardcore where I don't really have a HUD, I'm going to forget or not know what buttons to press because it doesn't tell you. So that'll be fun to experience. But yeah, here's just a lot of areas, especially this room right here, where the goal is to sit a whole bunch and listen to all these individual conversations to get points towards, the good ending. Anytime I do get a point, the screen kind of flashes white and you get there's a little noise icon, or just a noise cue to let you know you've got a point.
The bombing of the Dark Ones may have been humanity's
So yeah,
worst
Khan is pretty much just,
if they meant us no harm.
he's pretty much your spirit guide essentially. Anytime something paranormal is gonna appear and happen, he's pretty much the one who's gonna lead you through it.
Just meant we were incompatible.
While the Metro series does generally follow, the books, vaguely follows the books. They're very quite different. I haven't read the second book in the series, mostly because I can't find it anymore. But I did read the first one, and the first one, if you do want to read the books, which the games are based on, they're very different. So I give you a fair warning there. It's very philosophical, where they're going through, ideology and whatnot. And while it's not, over the head, this one's good, this one's bad, just a heads up that, that's what it deals with. So you're going to be dealing with a whole bunch of different philosophies on how to approach life and how to create societies and whatnot, rather than run and gun shoot.
And you,
But yeah, here we pretty much find out what our mission's initially going to be.
Yes, Colonel. Let's keep it
You'll
short.
appreciate the shot counter shot, which is the most basic and worst way to film the scene in All Mankind, which I'm conveniently doing here, going from Khan to leader and leader to Khan over and over until I give up.
The Dark Ones were the greatest threat the Order's ever
But yeah,
faced. Colonel,
our goal here is to be the worst, is to finish off our genocide, kill the monsters,
Artyom has a
drink vodka
I believe
and
we can
mushroom
establish
tea,
contact
and then
with the
party
creature.
hardy.
Let him come with me. All right. Artyom, go with Khan to the gardens and locate the Dark One. I'll send a sniper along. My best. Anna.
Yes, sir.
Why would
There's
we miss
Anna,
that?
our awkward love interest.
Eliminate the creature and finish the Order's job. You can't. It's murder. Restrain him. You idiot.
And yeah,
You're making
there's
the
that
same mistake that
really kind of awkward sound mixing there, where they have Khan's line end
stands for forgiveness.
as if he's getting cut off, but they forgot to immediately cut him off with the other person's voice line, so instead you get this like 1 second
Looks like he got close. Too close to the
gap
creature and lost
where
his
Khan
mind.
is supposed to still be speaking when he gets cut off, but instead there's just silence.
And get back here
But I mean,
quickly.
forgive the game its faults. I mean, nothing's perfect, and the gameplay itself makes up for this a lot. Unfortunately, this first episode is pretty much just going to be me
Come along, Rabbit.
wandering, It's pretty much just me walking because we don't really get into the gameplay itself until after this episode ends, or this level, as it were. So yeah, we're just going to follow Anna. Anna's going to call us a rabbit, and say that we're dumb, that we haven't accomplished anything because we're just not hardcore enough. Even though in the previous game we pretty much went through the entire metro system by ourselves, being super awesome hardcore and killing everything, including getting us access to this bunker. That's right, all thanks to us we got this bunker, but no, we're fresh and new, don't know what we're doing.
Maybe we could mate with them.
Karate chopper in the back of the neck. Whoopcha! Now you're dead. What now, Anna?
Shit. You don't shake hands with the devil.
But yeah, so we're off. We're going to get on the train. We are going to head out to the overworld, and from there, we're actually going to start the game.
Alright, hop in like a good little rabbit.
So I'll let this play, and yeah, see you in the next one.
Well, we've worn this place out. Let's move.